That's the bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias Podcast with Lydell Dinero and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero coming at you live. You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Best of Bias Podcast. You know who's here with me? It's AKA.
What's cracking?
What it do? How you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling groovy, I guess. Yeah.
Feeling groovy?
Being me, yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. Today's been a long day on my end. A lot going on. I'm happy the week is coming to an end. It's about to be Thursday tomorrow. One day closer to Friday. Yes, I cannot wait. A lot of shit happened this past weekend, man. We saw Doctor Strange in theaters. We got to experience that and a bunch of pop culture stuff. So today's gonna be an action-packed episode. Doctor Strange, pop culture. What else can you ask for? So you ready for this episode?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get to it. Let's start with Kevin Samuels. Last week, I think it was last week, we lost it's a pop culture up and comer here, I would say, relationship guru, self-proclaimed relationship guru. People
was it last
thought
week? I thought it was like 4 days ago.
I don't know. Today is was it this week? Is that bird in your at your house? I think I hear a bird.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, never mind. Maybe it's over here. But anyways, go ahead. What? Maybe it was last week. I don't know. I just felt like it was last week, but maybe it happened early this week.
Yeah, I think it's only been like 4 days.
Okay.
4 or 5 days, maybe. But who knows? Maybe longer. I don't know. You might be right. Actually, I take that back. I think you are right. I think it was last week. You're right.
Yeah, because we're kind of fresh into a new week, right? It's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I know it had to be at least a couple of days since it had, or at least a couple of days since that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the topic. He recently passed away. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't really watch many of the videos, but I've heard about him a lot on podcasts that I listen to. Some of his topics and some of the things he talked about were kind of controversial, more towards women. I don't know. I just heard that people would call in and he would kind of like give advice based on some kind of most times unrealistic standards some women were looking for in guys. And me personally, from what I heard, the little bits that I actually have heard, it was some girls kind of dogging guys that are average and don't have hella money and say they would never date a guy who, pretty much work regular 9 to 5s. If he didn't make this much money, he wouldn't be qualified to date her or some shit like that. And he would kind of go on to ask her what she looks like, what she does for a living, this and that, and kind of let her know that based on the standards and stuff that she kind of qualifies a man on, she kind of, if we looked at it that way, the standards that you have don't qualify you to date somebody that you're looking for or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes, I don't really know exactly what it was. Like, was it like a TV show? Was it like a radio station?
It was like his YouTube like a stream type of thing. But that's pretty much the gist of what he was doing.
Yeah.
For me personally, I liked him first and foremost because he had a backbone. And like in society, we have always coddled women. I hate to say that, but we have. We've also in the past, how about I put it? In the past, they were treated fucked up. Women, the women's right movement was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got them to where they needed to be. And then they start, I feel like a lot of times you have a lot of feminists who try and reach and want more and more. And it's like, well, shit, like now you're taking, it's not like equality, it's about control now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when it comes to like TV, for the most part, for years, we have been fed the woman's perspective on stuff. And can you name me one male show, a show that was more about male perspectives or male issues? Can you like think of one show that was ever televised that ever had anything like that?
Guy Code?
Name you, huh?
Guy Code?
Guy Code?
Guy Code on MTV.
Guy Code. What was that?
I don't know. It was just kind of like one of those kind of sketch shows where sketch comedy shows where they showed a bunch of stuff that
A
guys did
sketch
a
comedy
lot.
show.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like actual talk shows that like delve into like actual feminine issues or actual male issues. I can name a shit ton that delve into female issues. You got like the Ricky Lake Show, Maury.
Well, maybe
you got,
Jerry Springer.
Maybe
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer was kind of both. That was both.
Okay. I don't
It
know.
was actually, but it's still also coddled towards the women because the men always got booed and always got treated like shit, even when the women was clearly wrong. Like look at Maury, for example. You watch the Maury show, and a woman could be up there with her sixth dude trying to test for this baby's father because six other dudes were not the father, and they will boo the shit out of this man. And then after they read the results that he's not the father, they'll still boo the shit out of him and coddle her like she didn't put this kid in a fucked up situation as well as herself. And that's kind of been like the narrative that we've been seeing for a long time. And for the most part, dudes don't give a fuck. We like, yeah, let them, express their feelings. But then when it comes to all men ain't shit and man ain't this and that, and then men are like, all right, you know what? Let's go ahead and get our issues out. And I feel like he gave men an avenue for them to at least hear, even though I don't agree with everything he said, a lot of the stuff he said I did agree with. And I'm not even gonna go as far as say like I wouldn't have delivered it the way he delivered it sometimes, but I feel like he did that mostly because he noticed that the views raised. But the thing that kills me the most is the fact that when I talk to people about this, they always lead with he hates Black women. I was like, well, did you actually watch his videos? Because I watched a lot of his videos, almost all of them. He has almost twice as many videos doing the same thing he did to women, but to men. He just didn't get any kind of views because nobody cares about that shit.
Right. That's how YouTube pretty much works.
It's not even just YouTube, it's just in general. Yeah. As soon as he started because it was actually WorldStar. They started first they actually threw videos. They originally threw videos on WorldStar of him criticizing dudes when dudes were talking about how they want this bad girl and how she don't do this and that. And he was like, well, how much do you weigh? How tall are you? How much do you make? How big is your manhood type of shit? And then he'd be like, he was very blunt with them the same way. And the difference was men were like, you're right. That's pretty much, they accepted it like, yeah, I got to do better. But when he did it to the females, it's like, oh, you hate women, this and that. And all he's telling women is, you want this dude that make damn near $1 million every year, but you masculine as hell when you talk to people. You don't look like you should. Like there's a lot of other women that compete for that man. And what makes you think he's gonna pick you?
Right? Yeah. No, I know what you mean, because they'd be like, I don't want to work. I don't want to go get a job. I want this man to take care of me. So it's exactly. But then they would get mad at him because he would tell them women that their degrees don't mean anything. Yeah. Now, in the sense of like them society and further themselves and like being bossing up and shit, yeah, it does mean a lot. In relationships, it don't. If you want a man that makes six figures, they'll sit there and be like, I make all this money, this and that. He's like, but then in the same breath, they'll tell you that they want a man to pay the majority of the bills. And he's like, well, why does your degree and your income relevant if he's paying all the bills? That means your money's going to you. So, I mean, that was pretty much, he did say some harsh shit sometimes. Like, I think somebody told me, like, he said something about women over 30 are leftovers. I mean, I don't agree with that. Oh, shit. But it's fucked up. I don't agree with it. But at the same time, who knows how, like, he has a lot of friends who are in that tax bracket that make that much money, and they might tell him that. I don't think that it's 100% true, but, it is what it is. But I always find it just funny how whenever you try and explain to people that he did the same thing that he does to women to men, but even more, and they still go back to, well, I don't think he likes Black women. I think he hates Black women. He's a misogynist. And I'm like, but do you know that the majority of female shows are are full pure misandry? Yeah. Like women have no problem with being using that, saying all men are shit. Yeah. But that is nuts. That is nuts. Yeah. I see where you're coming from for sure. I've definitely heard it on both sides, man. It's like, oof, man, the man passed away and people are kind of going on his social medias and kind of trashing the man. Yeah, and it's
talking about this is karma and God works in mysterious ways and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, if God is real and he decides to go kill Kevin Samuels because he told women the truth for the most part. Sometimes he was a little bit extra, but for the most part, he told them, hey, you got to get out of your delusion and be in reality. He killed him, but he didn't kill the dude who killed Trayvon Martin. He let Ronald Reagan, who like pretty much skyrocketed the fucking crack epidemic for Black people. He let that guy live to like 96 years old. There's a lot of El Chapo escaped from prison how many times? I'm sure he's behind multiple murders, but he decided to kill Kevin Samuels. God damn.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel it for sure. But I also have heard some women that are kind of saying the same thing as you said. You got to watch the full videos, and a lot of the times these women called in, they are getting what they are asking for when they call in, talking the way that they're talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like maybe he doesn't really put in, I don't know if it was live or not, put in all the positive calls he has, but sometimes, I mean, he was just now up and coming.
He puts the whole live stream up.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, what he does, he realizes that certain clips get more views, and this is a money business. He's trying to make money at the same time. So yeah, you can go watch the full live view. You have a lot of women who get on there and agree. I will say that a lot of times women will get on there and agree with him, and all he would do is say, "I appreciate you. I bet you a do. I'll bring somebody up who wants to argue. I want somebody who wants to argue my points." Literally, because he's like, I mean, that's what he was doing, and he was doing it for views. And you know, at the end of the day, it's a platform for him to make money. I don't think that in any way, shape, or form was he trying to tear down the Black, Black race or whatever. I thought he was trying to build it up in all our reality, because there are a lot of guys who, you know, are just saying, fuck it, I don't even want to deal with it. Like, I'll just go ahead and be by myself, because a lot of women that I've come across, not all, but a lot of women I've come across have like tendencies to be very aggressive when they talk to dudes, and nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody they got to compete with. Nobody does. And it gets construed because they say, oh, well, he's afraid of a strong Black woman. And it's like, and excuse me for using your mom for this. Your mom to me was a strong Black woman. She was very feminine. She worked her ass off and took care of her kids. I'd never seen a masculine trait out of her at all. You guys may have, because she's your mom and she's supposed to discipline you, but I never saw that. You know what I'm saying? That's a strong Black woman, not a woman that disagrees with you and wants to argue with you all the fucking time. That's not a strong Black woman. That's not. That's an argumentative person that most of the time I want to get away from. And the problem is a lot of times that should have happened. And then when you want to leave, it's like, oh, well, you ain't man enough anyways. And it's like, well, I'll be that. You know, if that's the case, I'll be it.
Yeah. I feel it. Yeah, it's wild, man. And me personally, despite how you feel about him, I don't think his family really deserves all the hate. And to have to hear about, you know, I feel like people were trying to break the news, actually heard about it before his family did, because of how the situation was. He was with with a woman, and you know, I think they were having sex or something. I don't know if they're actually having sex when he died. But he did go into cardiac arrest and die. So it is a little bit of an embarrassing way to go and have to hear about. Well, I'm just saying for his family. I'm just saying for how his family had to hear about it and how people were hating on him at the same time. Talk about that's what you get, and it's kind of wild in a sense.
I don't think it's embarrassing. I think it's sad. I mean, in our reality, I think what happened was, I don't know if you ever watched his live streams, but I watched a lot of them. This man drank entirely too many Red Bulls. He had a Red Bull every stream. Every stream. Watch any stream, you'll see he's pouring a little glass of Red Bull. Every single one. Everyone. And it's not just one. He's doing it multiple times. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Multiple Red Bulls?
Yes. He was doing it all the time. And I remember when I first started watching him, I'm like, dude, that's just going to kill him one day. I remember saying that. I mean, it happened already, but still, like, I feel like that was a big issue, a part of that. That's why I don't fuck with those things anymore. I just stopped drinking those after he died.
I started to try to go to the no sugar ones, but I started drinking these thing called Alani's now. Pretty fire. And Celsius are pretty fire too. They have no sugar and pretty much just like help with metabolism, and they're pre-workout type drinks too.
Drink tea and coffee. I'm good with that.
Coffee just be going through my body like motherfucking water though. But water. Like the water's fire as fuck. But anyways, let's moving on. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. You know, regardless how you felt about him, it's sad to you know, his life is short and he died way too young. What, 50 something, 57, 58, 57?
53, 56, one of those two.
Damn, in the 50s, it's still way too young to go. Let's see. Next we got Kendrick Lamar. You saw the new video, saw the new song. What was it? Heart 5. What was it called? I think it was something like that.
I think it's what it was called,
Yeah. Pretty much was you know, over a Marvin Gaye track. Was it called Want You?
Something like that, yeah.
What he was rapping over. Pretty dope, dope concepts. He was pretty much rapping about culture, and throughout the video, I mean, it was a different kind of, different kind of experience if you saw the video. From our listeners out there, if you have time, go, pause the podcast, go check out the video, come right back and, jump right in. You'll know what we're talking about. But it's pretty wild. He changes into a bunch of people. He changes into Will Smith, Kanye West, Nipsey Hussle, Kobe Bryant, Juicy Smollett, Jesse Smollett.
Yeah, you had it right.
OJ Simpson, a bunch of people. Just kind of, and while he was doing it, he was kind of rapping kind of as the person in a way, speaking through them as a part of culture, positive or negative, just how, I don't know, just how culture is right now, hip hop culture, Black culture. I don't know, it's kind of deep. What was your perspective on it? How'd you feel about
my perspective, I probably was more stuck on the beginning, but I from what I was getting it was like how we have a lot of negative, unhealthy aspects to our culture that we still embrace. And it was funny because if we were to get rid of all, like a lot of those, we probably advance a lot more as a race and as a culture in general. But we embrace all and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I listen to a lot of that hardcore hip hop. Sometimes I even spit when I be rapping. I be spitting that shit, not anymore, but I used to a lot. But yeah, we definitely embrace the negative and the negative aspects of the culture to the point where it's like it's normal to do that shit until it happens to you, and then you realize how fucked up it is. And but we embrace all that shit like it's cool, and we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't be embracing that because that just encourages people who would never even go down that path to be like, well, shit, that's what's cool. That's what gets you the women and get you the money. So I'm gonna go that route. And I mean, in the end of the day, we got idols and like celebrities that people look up to getting killed left and right or dying or going to jail behind this shit because that's what's considered cool, I guess, in our culture, And it shouldn't be. Cool should be the Black millionaires and the Black entrepreneurs and like motherfuckers who are actually doing positive stuff. That should be the cool, not the motherfuckers out there gang banging.
Yeah, and they even showed the aspects of Will Smith, Kanye West, because even those rich people have aspects to their lives that are kind of, on surface level, you may think they don't have, but in, our culture, we look up to these people and these people aren't perfect and we worship these people and they have issues their own. When there's Will Smith, hurt people. You know what I'm saying? He's hurt people. Will Smith out there slapping Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about Kanye West just kind of being schizophrenic a little bit and people just kind of like using him for his resources. They got their hands out and kind of getting in his pockets and getting in his heads and pulling them left and right. Jussie Smollett kind of, just going out there lying about his whole situation and pretty much after the fact just trying to pin it on two Black brothers after, I don't know, it was a lot. It was pretty deep. You had to go see it for yourself.
The fucked up part about him is because the two African dudes, how Africans are when it comes to like homosexuality. They like real hard on that shit. Like you can get killed over there for that, which is sad. Really sad. But he after they start saying nah, this is like they start basically telling on him. Then he goes to route, well, I was sleeping with one of you guys, trying like throw that in there to. I mean, it may be true, but I mean at the same time, it felt more like a retaliation. That's what it felt like. So,
it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, because if they were in cahoots, it's kind of crazy for him to kind of like, just say that they had
a relationship.
Right. And they decided to do this and then they went estranged afterwards. And then, I don't know. It was just a lot of wild shit. I think they were saying that one of the brothers beat him up because one of the other brothers was having a relationship with him and he was mad about it or some shit like that. I think they're trying to frame it as one of those kind of things, but I'm not 100%. But either way.
Not bad. How long was I froze for?
You're froze for a little bit, but you all good. I was just kind of rambling on anyways. But either way, just check it out because he turned into Kobe Bryant and turned into Nipsey Hussle and was kind of rapping as Nipsey Hussle was pretty tight.
Hey, that was some deep the deep fakes on there was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
They did real good, yeah.
Especially Kobe Bryant, that shit was kind of crazy.
I like the way that it was like you see it slowly blending and it just becomes them and it's like, okay, that's dope.
The Kobe Bryant one did it the most. They did it like that. He slowly became the other one. He would just kind of shake it like Moon Knight, and you just kind of become him. But the Kobe Bryant one kind of snuck in there. He kind of slowly morphed because, like, after a while, I was watching it with Veronica. She didn't really notice it was Kobe Bryant at first because it kind of still looked like Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, damn, I didn't even notice how much Kendrick Lamar looked like Kobe Bryant for him to make a slow transition.
But same with the Nipsey at first. I was confused at first. I was like, what the hell? It looked like Nipsey, but like, it still feel like K-Dot. But I mean, it was clean. I like the. I mean, it's not like a song that I'm gonna sit there and bump out in my car, but it was, one of them ones that you like. If I call it like a Jordan Lucas song, where you listen to it for the message, and then you're like, okay, that's great, and then you go on about your business,
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing about it. I heard a lot of reviews on this, and people were kind of calling it like, all right, it's not as great as people are saying. If Jordan Lucas would have did some shit like this, you guys would have looked at it for 1 second and been like, man. Some people are saying it's a masterpiece, but Jordan Lucas does this all the time. You guys don't give him the same credit. And then Joe Budden, he was like, Joe Budden, he said, well, Jordan Lucas doesn't deserve to be mentioned in the same category as Kendrick Lamar, so we shouldn't even be having this discussion. Yeah. And he was like, first of all, he wouldn't have access to a beat like this because it was the Marvin Gaye shit. And he was like, he wouldn't be able to have flip this shit and do it like this. And he
that cleared,
right. Yeah, and he was like, nobody else could actually put this out and then be as, notable, and people just watch it for what it is, though it may not be the best song. Like, some of them are on the podcast we're arguing about, like, he has like at least, this is the 5th constellation of the Heart freestyle kind of series, and people were saying they were saying that some of the earlier ones were better than this one, but Joe Budden was saying this shit was a masterpiece, and he doesn't really care. Like, one of the other guys was saying that they didn't really care for Jordan Lucas's introspective kind of songs anymore because he does it so much. But when Kendrick Lamar does it, it's more so a hit because people want to see that from Kendrick Lamar. People are not really asking for it from Jordan Lucas every song. You know what I mean?
I feel like, I agree. I feel like the songs that Jordan Lucas puts out that usually get the most play are the ones that have that. But I mean, I still feel it has the same vibe to it. Like, it's not the song itself is different, but I mean, as far as what it is, that's what it is to me. It's a song that I look at, I see the message. It's, great message, good lyricism and all that stuff. So I'm not gonna listen to it again. I mean, if I listen to it again, it's probably because I'm listening to somebody to show them it. That's it.
Exactly. Show the video. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But I'm sure the album is gonna slap. It's gonna be tight. I think it's gonna be a double disc. Coming out this Friday, so I hope you guys are all excited. Because I am, because a lot of these albums came out and they're highly anticipated, and they listened to it for like a week and a half, and it just kind of went by. So I'm hoping Kendrick Lamar's album can have a little bit of play value. I know that damn album was playing for like damn near 2 years on the radio.
Oh yeah, that was my gym go-to right there.
That album,
I Feel Life.
Yeah.
Whenever I was trying to lift something heavy, I was like, whenever I was doing like 400 and some pounds, this is what God feel like. I had to put that on.
I feel it. Yeah, that shit had hits, a whole bunch of radio hits. His first album where he's like, I'm gonna put some songs on. I ain't the type of artist to put a bunch of songs on the album to get it on the radio, but if I wanted to, I can do that. And that's what he did with that album. Damn near all those songs were on the radio. So it was playable for like 3 or 4 years, and just like his first album in hella years. And it doesn't even seem like that because those songs have been played for that long. You know what I mean?
That's real. Yeah.
But yeah, that should be exciting. We're gonna see that shit on Friday. I would tell you guys the title, but I forgot exactly what the album was gonna be called. I know the second half is called The Steppers, but I forgot what the rest is called. Probably I'll come back to it before the end of the podcast. Next, let's hop into some sports, man. The playoffs is going on right now. I know I promised y'all a sports podcast last week, but I ran behind. Mother's Day was last week, so I couldn't really get into the last sports, connect with the guys. But this weekend, I'm going to try to connect you guys and talk about these playoffs and the draft that just happened. And maybe a little bit about our fantasy league that we're going to start up. We're going to have a draft party. We talked about it a lot last year, but we'll get that in there. But anyways, current playoffs, Dallas is playing Phoenix, of course. This game, I think it was game 4, they're in Dallas, and Chris Paul had a bad game. Let's start with that. I guess I don't know if that mattered at all, because first couple games he was playing, he was on fire. One of the games he missed like one shot, maybe missed one shot in the whole game. So he was doing shit, making the Dallas fans feel stupid and shit like that. I think that was against Dallas. It might have been against the Pelicans. Don't hold it against me. But either way, the Dallas fans were getting kind of rowdy. Chris Paul's family was sitting really close to the bench. I think it was his wife and his mother. And some of the fans were getting rowdy with them, cussing at him, harassing him, and some even put hands on his mom, which made Chris Paul really mad. It was it looked like a 15-year-old kid too. He got escorted out of the game, banned for 10 years. He got escorted out with his mom, and Chris Paul was yelling at him, I'm gonna see you later. I'm gonna see you later. And I know it was a kid, but you don't go to these games and put hands on nobody, talk to people's parents, nothing like that.
You hit my mom or my woman, you be 15 years old, you can get beat like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, for sure. And that it was just wild for the concept that people think that just because they are sitting hella close to the court, they paid a bunch of money for their tickets, they can just act and do whatever they want to do. Touch the players, even fucking harass the players' parents. Like,
now, you ever seen this? What was that show called again? True Detective. What it is with Colin Farrell and stuff.
That shit was dope.
So you remember that scene where his son got his shoes stolen and stuff?
Yeah.
And his son, he was yelling at his son and asked for the name of the kid who did it. Mm-hmm. And then he went to the kid's house, called the kid's dad out there. When the kid's dad came out, the kid came out, he just started beating the dog shit out of the kid's dad in front of him.
Yeah.
That would have been me. I've been beating the shit out of that kid's parent.
Yeah, I feel it. Oh man, I just feel like he was just with his mom though. I feel like I don't know if his dad was actually there. He might, if the dad was cold-blooded, if he stayed and make the mom take the kid home.
I know, that'd be hella fucked up.
That'd be cold.
She can get pepper sprayed or something. She got to feel something so he'll understand what he was doing was wrong. I'll pepper spray the shot at her.
Did any video come out? I'm not sure. Sorry about that motorcycle that just drove by. It was kind of rumbling for a little bit of cheer.
Couldn't really hear it. But nah, I mean, they only had video of just his reaction to the kid, but they didn't actually show the video of the kid doing whatever he did. Yeah, but regardless, I mean, he had way more willpower than me to just say, I'm going to see you, because I would have been seeing that motherfucker.
Right. And he only had like 5 points in the game and got fouled out too. I would have been heated, already ready to go, but luckily he kept his cool because it was a kid. But hopefully and Shaq was like, this is what you do. When you got your family in the stands, make sure you got some cousins. Make sure your cousins is in the stand with them. If anybody starts getting crazy, make sure they keep them in check. And that's what you, especially when it's your female family, you make sure you get some cousins and put them in there in the stands with them, and they'll be all right. I guarantee that shit won't happen again. Yeah, Shaq knows what's good, because I know Shaq has probably been through it. Shaq is connected. He knows what's going on. He talks a lot of shit too, so he probably got into it with fans in his day. But nobody wants a malice in the palace. Nobody wants none of that shit. But the fans have been acting crazy the last couple of years, in terms of like just, I don't know. They just feel obligated to like be able to do whatever they want. You see Drake out there, DJ Khaled out there going up and down the sidelines, touching the coaches and shit like that. But I'm sure they're ambassadors on the team and shit. I know Drake is like a brand ambassador and shit like that.
I'm sure.
But no matter what, some of these people are probably richer than Drake and them on the sidelines and feel like they can do whatever they want to do. And shit is wild. It's unsafe. And I feel like in basketball especially, they need to back these people up and just have like a restricted area. I know you may not be able to sell as many seats. Yeah. These people their safety should be important.
They should have some like quick acting security, like who got tasers and shit. So as soon as it happened, escorting him out, tase that motherfucker so he know he did something wrong and then escort him out.
Hit him with the tranquilizer darts. They're perfectly safe. They'll put you to sleep for a little bit, but you're gonna be carried out nicely and safely. Oh, nah. We'll give you a pillow.
Is he gonna wake up with a headache at least?
I know, right? Just make you feel like you got something. Make you feel like you got a whole bunch of rib shots. You might feel that way. It's just a tranquilizers. Chris Paul did not punch you, I promise. Here's a card for State Farm. Put it in his pocket. Yeah, it'll be all right.
Because that little kid would have left out there looking like the dude who attacked Dave Chappelle. So,
Chris Paul's son got to be somewhere around the corner.
How old is his son?
He got a couple of sons, but I don't think they're that old. Probably like 10. He punched that nigga in the face though. Next topic, I gotta give a shout out to my boy Nikola Jokic, back-to-back MVP that was announced this week, man. All you doubters out there, I just want to take some time to let you know it's been real. Sorry for you. Give me some tears. I'll drink the tears. Give me your tears. I'll drink them all. Because you know what? Y'all doubted us. You thought Embiid was gonna win the MVP. Jokic won it last year, and B couldn't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Jokic was there every game holding it down. We got swept by the Phoenix Suns and all that, but that ain't nothing. This year, we came through. I think he was Jokic was averaging like 27, 11, and like 7 assists. You know what I'm saying? He broke a whole bunch of offensive record. First player in the NBA history, 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists. He was the fastest player to reach that mark, I think. Yeah, it's a bunch of too many accolades to like just mention right now. So I just want to shout out Nikola Jokic before that sports episode comes up. I'm probably going to talk a whole bunch more about it and talk a whole bunch more shit to the guys on that episode. But I just have to shout my mans out because the second round pick, number 41 overall, second round pick to ever win the fucking MVP. Then he tops it off by doing it again next year, breaking a whole bunch of records, passing Wilt Chamberlain in all-time triple doubles. 27 years old, man, out of Serbia. And when he got the award, he was just out there in Serbia riding his horses. You know what I'm saying? They surprised him in Serbia and gave him the award. And they was playing like the fucking, what's that little thing with the piano? And it was like an accordion and shit. Yeah. They're playing like that shit in Serbia, like congratulating him, and he was just riding his horses. Real humble. Everybody else is making a big deal out of the MVP award. He don't even care about it. And he got it 2 times in a row, putting them in an elite company. Only 5 centers in NBA history has won back-to-back MVPs. That's Moses Malone, I think. I don't really remember them all, but he's with the elite company. There's only 5 centers in the NBA that's ever done it. So, you feel me? I'm just going to move on smoothly from there. Oh, let's talk about Tom Brady real quick before we go into a commercial break real quick here. Tom Brady just signed a 10-year deal, $375 million contract with Fox to be the head analyst on Fox Sports to call the games after he retires, whenever he retires. He's 44 right now, about to turn 45 this season playing football for, you know what I'm saying, my Buccaneers, you feel me? But whenever he decides to retire, Fox got a job for him and already ready to make him be paid the highest paid sports analyst of all time before he even retires from football. That's like $30 million, like $34 million a year to be talk football. He ain't never going to retire and his family ain't going to never get to see him. But what do you think about this contract? What do you think about this news?
That's crazy. So they're gonna have like basically the football version of Michael Jordan doing commentary forever. That's crazy because you know how like over time, you know, that he probably gonna get old and then the next generation will come in, they gonna know all the shit he did really. And gonna be looking at him like he just, you know, some John Madden dude just up there talking. And it's like, nah, this motherfucker was the truth.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, but they got time to still see it, man. He could have won MVP last year. He was second in running for MVP at 44. And he's about to be 45 now, has a good team coming back, offensive line better than last year, arguably. And we have all our weapons returning. You know, hopefully Chris Godwin can get better in our defense, just load up on that secondary. We coming for you, Rams, Kenny, Derek. We coming for y'all, man. We coming. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, he's about to get another Super Bowl, have 8 Super Bowls before he retires to make $30 million a year in a comfy studio, just talking football, more and more football, probably predicting every play before it comes and shit like that. Pretty wild, man. I wish I could make some money like that.
I mean, I think everybody does, but yeah.
No, yeah. But I mean, he relatively have taken pay cuts his whole NFL career. He did it for the Buccaneers, you know, to help us get more players to win a Super Bowl. He did it for the Patriots all those years. He was never really the top player paid in the league, but his wife was worth over $200 million. And, you know, he won a whole bunch of Super Bowls. He had a bunch of endorsements off the field. So he kind of made up the money that way. And now he's about to get paid even more money being an announcer off the field, making way more money than he even made on the field per year, which is crazy. And he locked in for 10 years. And that is nuts. And he can always renegotiate because he'll only be 55. Plenty years to go. There are announcers out there in the 60s, 70s. You know what I mean? So shit, shout out to Tom Brady. But before you think about doing all that, let's win a couple Super Bowls before you go, and we can send you over there in style. You feel me? Another rapid fire topic here. Ezra Miller may be getting replaced in The Flash by, his name is Dylan O'Brien. He was in American Assassin. I don't know if you guys have seen that, the movie where he's like at a beach and his girlfriend, and the opening scene is everybody gets shot on the beach and shit. his girlfriend is kind of like the Punisher in a way, but everybody on the beach
Not
gets
really.
tied up.
That shit really happened in real life.
No, really.
Oh
In
yeah,
American,
back when my job. No. I mean, like there was. I forgot where the fuck it was at. It was some resort that happened. I want to say back in 2016 or 15, where some motherfuckers came up on the beach and start popping into them tourists. You remember that?
I think it was based on a real story, true story.
Yeah, they were shooting the tourists, but they weren't shooting the locals. They were just shooting the tourists.
Damn.
Yeah, I gotta look that shit up. But I remember that happened now because my old job I had to like monitor all kind of bullshit like that. So
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah.
Wild, but yeah, we talked about Ezra Miller a little bit in the past episodes, but he's been getting into some trouble in Hawaii, beating up some women, throwing chairs at him and stuff, and getting himself put in jail and he was strangling people, doing a whole bunch of shit. So WB might be replacing him because they already kind of was shuffling his movie around, pushed it back, and they need that movie to kind of, like we said, introduce their kind of like DC EU kind of shit and scramble it all up so they can do the Flashpoint movie and bring all the different Batmans, because they plan to bring George Clooney, Michael Keaton, everybody, all the different Batmans back into this movie, and they can't do that.
That's gonna be horrible.
Yeah, they can't do it without Ezra Miller, so they're probably gonna have to replace him, because I don't know if he's gonna get out of this trouble. He's getting into a lot of it.
Why are these dudes doing this like prematurely, just destroying their career? I don't get that. That's just ridiculous.
No, maybe they're stuck in contracts they don't want to be in, and it's their way to get out.
So you go hit a woman? Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking of how you can have all this opportunity in front of you. You just plan to, decide to throw it away. Young man, or well, yeah. he goes by his what are the pronouns? He goes by they and them.
Who does?
Ezra Miller.
Yeah. I just call him Ezra Miller then. I don't know. I mean, truthfully, I could be calling him shit because he ain't gonna be in the fucking limelight anymore, being stupid. So
yeah, he's not. So yeah, that kind of sucks. So do we have any more pop culture topics before we get into this commercial break? We'll talk about that when we come back. We got a couple more things actually. The YSL
stuff.
Oh yeah, we got boxing to talk about. YSL racketeering case. Casey White and Vicky White, the whole CO on the run and the inmate on the run situation. We'll get into all that, and we definitely still got the Doctor Strange review. All that and more coming up coming up on the Best of Bias podcast. It's your boy Lydell Dinero. We got AK in the building. We make this shit look good. Yeah. But first and foremost, I want to let y'all see this merch here we got going for the Best of Bias podcast. I told you guys that I had something special on the way for y'all. Hats, bucket hats, all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, what I got on my head right now is the Best of Bias trucker. You see the logo on top. Nice little thing. I got trucker hats, beanies, bucket hats, dad hats, all with the logo on them. Let me show you. You know what? Let me show it. It's better to show.
I break it down now, that pussy wet, it make you drown now. If you go downtown, these goofy niggas, they some clowns now, yeah, they some clowns now. But I'm a king, I wear a crown, and that should weigh 100 pounds. I break it down now, that pussy wet, it make you drown now. If you go downtown, these goofy niggas, they some clowns now, yeah, they some clowns now. But I'm a king, I wear a crown, and that should weigh 100 pounds. Fuck it, my goal is to elevate, never hesitate. I don't share money, I educate, then sit back and wait.
And we're back. Blucker. It's your boy, Lydell Dinero. AKA is in the building too. We back to talk about these topics before we get into that Doctor Strange review. Man, why am I always rhyming?
Booyaka. I don't know.
Booyaka. What about time? Don't you say?
One time.
Oh, that's what you said.
Jamaican dandara. I don't know.
Here we go.
With me.
All right. So here we go. YSL getting arrested for a racketeering case. YSL, also known as Young Stoner Life, arrested.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it's known for. They were arrested for a racketeering case. 27 members of the group. I thought it was a rap group, but I guess they were actually a street gang who were going under the same alias. They had a 18-page long list of cases that these people were going up against. There's 27 people, like I said, that were arrested. Young Thug, Gunna, the most notable, and everybody pretty much from YSL were arrested. I guess they were looking at them for a long time, and I guess they finally got enough to go and arrest them. And the DA of Clark County was saying that they're trying to hold them all to like maximum sentences and, you know, put everything they can against them because they were kind of responsible for 82% of street crime in Atlanta. Not necessarily YSL. She just said street gangs are responsible for like 82% of the crime, like violent crimes in the city. So they're trying to get all the gangs and people like gang members off the streets to try to make Atlanta a little more safe. But I don't know. This kind of goes to show because there's been a lot of groups and a lot of rap groups that have been arrested lately. Who was it? Fetty Wap and his whole crew got arrested. Casanova and his whole crew got arrested. All seems like on some RICO charges and some stuff about drugs and some crimes that the affiliates have done under the guise of these gangs. And it's like, it's crazy because I thought back in the day the lyrics couldn't really be used against you. Now they're using their lyrics against them in court as prime evidence to what the shit that they've been doing in the past and some of the people in their gangs have been doing. It's wild.
They've been using lyrics against people for years. It's just that people have been self-stitching for years. That's how they've been doing it. I
didn't know that people were actually doing that. I thought they were, they said, I think it was the First Amendment or some shit like that protects them in rap songs or whatever, or pieces of art or something that they can say the shit and not get held against them in court of law. But
people have been finding ways to snitch on themselves for years. It was this rapper out of Sacramento who I listened to, X-Rated. Remember him? You heard of him?
I don't think so.
So he probably wouldn't, because he actually, I think almost every album he ever had was from prison. Because when he was 18, he got locked up for a murder. I think he I want to say he broke into somebody's house and accidentally murdered their mom. He was trying to shoot the guys, and the mom got killed. Wow. So I think he only got out like a couple of years ago. I think he's only been out for like 4 years, and he went back back in the early 90s, late 80s, something like that. So he was in there all that time, but they got him because the gun that he was using that crime, I guess he had a fucking album cover with the same gun on the album cover. Yeah, so like they've been doing it for years. I mean, but they use lyrics all the time. They use lyrics. They just don't really like it. They use it more as, it's not like evidence that they did it, but it's like, see, look at it also cooperates with this, because they're singing it in the song, and they also have this that goes along with it. So if we have all these evidence that kind of make it look like they actually did it, you can add the fact that they also mention it in their music to add to that to get a stronger case.
And that's wild. And it's kind of like crazy too, because it seems as though people, or artists anyway, start kind of in the streets and they kind of elevate and get themselves out of the streets with the rap music. Then they make it big, kind of start, doing well for themselves, distancing themselves kind of from the street life, but they still kind of employ people from the streets because, they help out with their families and stuff, or have them around to help them out for security and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And even if they distance themselves from the street life, just having those people around, could cause them to be arrested and, can use to squeeze, because you're the rich person, you're the person that's funding this thing, supposedly, funding this gang and paying for all this illegal activity to happen. And that's fucked up just because you're the richest one in the group or actually doing that. Not
even, you're the one with the clout, you're the one with the name. I mean, if I was hanging out with Elon Musk and they saw me hanging out with him, and then like I decided to go pop somebody, and like they gonna say Ariel just killed somebody. They're gonna be like, Elon Musk's friend killed somebody. It's gonna be all over the news, so it's always gonna be implementing that person into it because they are the one who people know. And
I heard some of the cases on, some of the charges put against them were due to the fact they're saying like that Gunna and Young Thug were known to having a bunch of weed on them at all times that they would smoke as they traveled. And since they carried a big amounts of weed on them at certain amounts of time, they called that, in like with intentions to sell. Yeah. With intentions to sell, and like little things like that were brought up.
That's reaching. That's fucked up.
Exactly.
I heard they were talking about, I guess, Young Thug put a hit out on YFN Lucci or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching some video they were explaining like that whole situation between them two.
Right, and he's in jail for the same shit, right?
Yeah, he's in jail for the same shit. But I guess the YFNs and the YSL, as they call it, they're like beef with each other or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was like I watched this whole thing about how, like, I guess one of YF and Lucci's big homies got murdered coming out of a barbershop. And then another big homie from the YSL got killed. And then some other person got shot up. And I guess one of the people who were caught for that shooting, I guess his sibling was Young Thug's baby's mom, who ended up getting killed at a bowling alley over some. And I was listening to that. I'm like, wait, you tell me somebody killed a woman over a bowling ball? Oh shit, that's cap as fuck.
It didn't even seem right.
And then I was like, I was watching something else, and I guess people who were there with her were saying that that's bullshit because she wasn't even part of the argument. There was an argument, but she wasn't even in the argument. So why would they target her?
Yeah,
clearly that's something else going on. So I guess it's been a back and forth, and I guess somehow they got some kind of evidence that Young Thug was actually paying money to get YF and Lucci killed in jail. He actually got shanked up at one point. Yeah. So there's actually like he actually did get stabbed up, and so.
And I heard they're being held in the same jail right now.
Well, we'll see. If they in the same jail, I don't see Young Thug beating dude because dude look like he honestly could like a fight, but Young Thug don't like he can fight.
But I think Young Thug probably has more money that he can funnel into the jail to give him protection.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, so I think that'll definitely happen. Yeah,
but if you own that gang shit and that money ain't gonna matter if he in there with all his gang members, YF and Lucci. I don't know how it is. It might not be the fact, but I mean, if you're in there with your gang, that money ain't gonna really do anything because the gang, that shit, they loyal to their gang sites.
No, yeah, I feel it, but man, yeah, their lawyers and shit are trying to get them to be able to, plead their case to try to get them out of jail to, show that to try to kind of appeal. But I guess they're not even allowed to apply for that until they make bond, and they're not able to get hearings for bond because they're being held or some weird ass shit. So they're gonna be made example out of for a bunch of rappers to come.
Ain't that one churchy girl going with one of them dudes? That one church singer, I don't know what her name is, but she's like like her and her sister, like
Chloe Bailey.
Ain't she like she's supposed to be like a good girl, churchy girl?
Yeah, supposed to be dating Gunna.
Yeah, that's always been that. I swear to God, growing up, when I used to listen to my mom and be super nice, I couldn't get played for shit. The second I started acting like an asshole to women and being out there doing stupid shit, I ain't gonna say I got all the pussy, but it was a lot easier. And it's kind of funny how like you see women like her who are super desirable go with dudes like this, and of course that's gonna encourage you to be like, well, shit, if I want a girl like that, I have to be like Gunna, apparently.
Yeah, and if Gunna, just to bring it back to this case thing, I think if anybody, Gunna is going to get off because on the records that they had on him were like, involvement in gang related activity, or like, and I guess they're trying to get him for wearing a gang chain in a music video, and that's his relation to the gang. Like little shit like that.
To be honest, he the only one that I actually like someone listen to his music, so I kind of hope that's kind of a selfish reason for him. We hope he get off, but that's he's the one the most that I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. I actually kind of, I don't really fuck with his music heavy, but when he on songs, I be like, I like
I fuck with Gunna heavy. That's why it's kind of like, and Young Thug, I listen to them both, like even YSL, but it's like now it seems like something a little deeper now. It seems like if anything, well, the crime is rampant. A lot of this music kind of does influence that kind of behavior. And I feel like the government kind of sees that and kind of wants to put an end to that. But I don't know. I just feel like they're waiting for these rappers to get at their apex and just take them down right when they get to their apex, which is funny.
The funny thing I gotta say about Gunna is like I've seen interviews with him. He doesn't really portray that type of lifestyle really when he be talking at all. He seemed like the kind of person that when he make it, he getting the fuck out the hood. You know what I'm saying?
And he was kicking it with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, with those are your boys. It's like.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed like he wasn't super like gangy, but he was actually kicking it with all of them and was always around. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't really believe in the guilty by association all the time. I feel like that's some bullshit. In his case, I feel like they're just reaching and trying to get anybody in.
The richest people in the group. They're trying to, hook them up so they can start snitching.
When they were saying Young Thug was putting hits on people, I was like, that kind of sound right because remember the whole Lil Wayne tour bus shooting up thing. But I was like, to me, just personally, just looking at like I don't really follow Gunna that much, but I've watched some interviews with him and like tapped in a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, this dude, I like him. You know what I mean? I feel like he's very lyrically inclined and musically inclined, and I don't know. He didn't give me the type of person that's like, yeah, I'm out there in the streets doing stupid shit. He
exactly.
Didn't really portray that too much, yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully the courts can see that too, and just kind of if anybody was murdered, I know, bless the families and all that, but get the right people that did it and stop trying to go for the top people and try to funnel down. Do your job and get the right people and stop trying to shake up.
Unless they are the right people.
True.
Case,
And if they are,
then
yeah, my fault. But yeah, if you're not, damn, man, it's kind of a fucked up way to get what you want. Just go to the top person with the money, shake him down and make him turn on his family and friends. And once you get that information to squeeze from there, just fuck, is it that hard to find the evidence on that person?
Yeah, but that's also why I kind of got respect for 50, because I feel like a lot of times when people elevate, it's really hard for them to leave that life because there's so many people in there like, oh, you ain't real because you don't come around no more. And I heard, I forgot who the fuck it was. I think it was Nipsey was talking about it. He was like out there in the street and he'd already got his name out. And he was dudes out there like, dude, what the fuck is you doing out here? Get your ass out here. Like, you ain't supposed to be out here no more. You making it. And I like hearing shit like that because you always hear the other way around, usually where people turn that crabs in the barrel mentality. And if you ain't out there, you on your own talent and your own drive got you where you at. There's no reason for me to come back and give you money just because you cool with me in the hood. That makes no sense. And 50 Cent, I like him because when he started to get big, he saw those people who were, granted, they were some of his homeboys that he grew up with and they was down for him, but he seen that they didn't know how to change out of that element. They was still going on tours, getting in fights with the tour manager and shit like that. And he basically cut him off and they got mad about it. Like, he didn't cut him off for good. He was like, you need to go ahead and chill out and understand what the situation is, and I'll get back to you later. And instead of them chilling out and calming down and realizing that the perspective is different now, they got mad and started to talk shit about him. And I was like, well, y'all done fucked up y'all. He would have brought y'all with him, but instead y'all mad because he was telling you that street shit is done. Look how much money I'm making. And he cut ties with him. You know?
I feel it.
And I would have done the same thing. So
yeah, but hopefully, man. Well, hopefully the situation, I don't wish gel upon anybody, but hopefully, they come out on the right end of it. Whatever happens, man. Hopefully everybody stays safe and we get
hopefully
justice takes its course. Right.
Stop killing each other.
Fuck yeah. I mean, if this is the way we have to push in positive and conscious rap again, make that popular again by taking all the street shit and all the drill music and people. I don't think that's what we should do, but that seems like what they're trying to do. I just feel like it's a sad way for us to go back to actually rapping. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some more rappers out there that influence some more positive shit. Not saying that the negative shit isn't good music, but we get a lot of the same shit that perpetuates us killing each other when we need more positive rap that could be swagger and be flamboyant and still be all this good shit, but we don't have to rap about killing each other. That's all I got.
At all. Yeah, we ain't got to rap about killing. We ain't got to be rapping about fucking up our community with drugs and shit. We can, it's one thing to when you rapping about it to express to everybody else what's going on, and that's how it originated. It was more of what they call a reality rap because you're telling everybody what's actually going on instead of just telling them like a hip hop, a hippie. You actually like telling them some real shit. But now everybody know what that shit is. So now it seems more like instead of you just telling about it, you're just glorifying it. And what happens is that just breeds more people who see that and want to be like that. And the fucked up thing is I think originally like with NWA and stuff, they wasn't out there popping motherfuckers and doing that shit. I mean, of course they was in the street life, but it was like for all reality, it was like me when it comes to street life. I mean, I wasn't embedded in that shit. I was just around it, and that's how they were. But they sat there and portrayed in the music that way. And what happened was other people saw that and was like, oh, that's cool. But then they actually start doing it. They were imitating it because they thought that that's what they really were doing. And then you got rappers in the next generation coming up, actually popping motherfuckers and then rapping about it. Like Dude X-Rated, I was telling you about it. Like all them Sacramento rappers and shit up there, and them motherfuckers was really getting down with the get down. And it's kind of still going on to this day,
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, moving on slightly. KC White, inmate that was on the run with Vicky White, the CO, corrections officer of 16 years, 20 years, something like that. This guy was on the run, escaped prison, KC White, and the corrections officer was missing too. We didn't necessarily know the situation leading up until a couple of weeks ago. We thought maybe he held her hostage and made her help him escape. We didn't know really what happened to him, how he got out of jail. Really? This guy, we didn't really know at first what happened.
Oh, I thought they were saying that like she had told the other corrections officers that she was taking him to a psych eval, something like that. And then she let him in the car and drove off. And then once they found the car, they realized, they looked into it and found out that there was no psych eval he had to go through. And that's how they kind of determined that, okay, something's up.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
And the funny thing is they both had the same last name, but I thought they were like husband and wife or something. I'm like, how the hell are they gonna let her inside of there, basically being the jailer for her husband, but couldn't find out they're not even related. So
Damn.
yeah.
I mean, that's probably why they don't let women in the male prisons and males in the women's. I mean, that's why they do. Back in the day they didn't, because shit like this could possibly happen. Yeah, and this was an extreme example, of course, but it really did go out this way.
You hear about shit like that happening all the time. There was that one corrections officer who was letting somebody, she cut a hole in her uniform in that bottom and let some dude bang her out in front, and other inmates was watching.
Whoa.
It was like, yeah, they be on some other shit sometimes. And I'm sure the dude, I mean, I don't know if they have male guards in the female prisons. I'm sure they do, but I mean, I'm sure them dudes probably do the same thing over there. So it's like, I don't know. That's wild. It's always wild when you always like look at it like, yeah, humans are humans, you know what I mean? So you don't have the ones that do shit right, but there's always gonna be a few who do some fucked up shit. Just like you got like the teachers who be doing shit to the students like that. It's always a bunch of them, but then the ones that get the most notoriety for it are the ones that do the fucked up shit. But
that's just crazy though. If one thing is like, okay, I get it, that's discriminatory not to have women working at male prisons and males not working at women's prison. But this is one example where it should be that way, because this shit could possibly happen. I mean,
at the same time, you gotta think about it like these people don't think logically anyways. I know you heard about the fucking the transgender person they let into the female prison.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, it got 2 people pregnant. It's like
that's wild.
You guys didn't think that was a stupid thing to do? Like you could have been like, are you post-op? It's like
exactly. At least check out the situation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like
pretty
I said,
wild.
after that, I'm never gonna get locked up. But it's in a fucked up scenario that did happen. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I identify as her and she, and I know I got a beard, but it's okay. I'm a beard.
Whatever
woman,
it takes not to go there.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel that for sure. But yeah, they were discovered. I guess they were on the run for a while, and they were found after getting in a car crash trying to outrun the police. They were found with 4 handguns, AR-15, excuse me. And she was found with the self-inflicted gun wound, and she was dead. And he was all beat up from the crash, but it was a hell of a way to go out, man. I just don't understand what would just one day make her make this decision. It's like, fuck, this man has been giving me the D this well, to the fact that I'm gonna ruin my whole career, vested career, pension, all that shit, and just try to help this man, this murderer, escape from jail. And think it's gonna end well. They got all your information, lady. Come on now. Rest in peace and all that, but
yeah, I don't know what she thought the outcome would have been of that. Yeah, but goddamn, I don't know.
Yeah. They said they were planning to die in a shootout with the police, but before that can happen, they got in a crash and she shot herself. So wild.
Out of all the fucking desperate dudes that's out there that ain't getting none, she couldn't find one of them out there that was just like a nerdy motherfucker that was like, yeah, I hate the cat, but instead she had to go to prison with a dude who got like 70-something years.
She had to call in to Kevin Samuels, and she would have had her straight.
Or should have just went on a fucking dating app. I don't know.
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna take this nigga out of jail, take him on a little trip here, and see what happens. Yeah, that's a little wild. Society today, I would never think I'd hear stories like that we have to report every week, but I'm glad we do. Keep making these stories, keep our podcast in business, people.
Yeah, but stop dying though.
Stop dying though. Yeah, we don't want to have to report on death every week. Keep making us laugh. Keep doing some heartfelt shit. You know what I'm saying? I know you saw that Dave Chappelle, that Jamie Foxx, he was impersonating Dave Chappelle. That shit was hella funny. That's cool. There was an argument.
That shit.
Man, I heard an argument that he's like one of the most talented entertainers ever, because he can sing, that fool can act.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he can sing, he can do hella shit. And it's wild. It's kind of underrated, to be honest.
100%.
He's kind of still in his prime.
If he come out and start breakdancing and shit, I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker the GOAT. It is what it is.
Bro, he's still in his prime. He has to be like in his 50s. a lot of these older comedians are still making movies hella old, and he hasn't really, I heard that he has like 9 movies that are gonna be in like being filmed or gonna be filmed in the next coming year. So he has no plan on stopping anytime soon. But man,
They need to get him in. They need to get him in the MCU.
yeah,
Maybe he can be Blue Marvel. Is that dude's name again?
yeah. Charlemagne is working with the creator of that shit.
Make his own comics,
yeah. So hopefully he comes out and does some shit and get in the MCU, because he is a big fan. And Charlemagne, anything he fucking decides to do, he always, usually accomplishes, and people fuck with him. So I'm sure.
Have you read Blue Marvel? Have you read that comic?
I haven't read it.
It's a good.
I read his bio. I'll probably read some more on him tomorrow, probably over the weekend. But yeah, when we did our anime kumite thing for it, or planned it at least, I was doing a bunch of research on him. So I had some shit ready, but
he's too OP. That motherfucker's too OP.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't put him in the MCU. Like,
because they might have to after because they gotta have another OP character like that.
Yeah,
he would have been on that Wanda level, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because she can like alter reality and shit, but
yeah, definitely on Captain Marvel level for sure.
Oh no, he probably he's destroying Captain Marvel easily.
Well, I'm saying like the cosmic kind of level that she's on, he would be that male version, even if higher on that level still.
Yeah, he's much more powerful than her.
Shoot, no, I mean,
Hulk said that's the hardest he ever been hit.
Damn, that'd be epic as fuck. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. Hopefully, they can get some movies out, man. TV show maybe, if anything, on a lower scale type shit. I'm sure Disney Plus and everybody's waiting for another show to be written out, because they look like they're grasping for straws with this Miss Marvel shit and this fucking She-Hulk shit. They started off with a bang, so if they need some ideas, man, go holler at them. Get a Blue Marvel show popping.
I know, and I hope they don't try and run the narrative because they're girl shows, nobody like them. This and that. Like, well, WandaVision was one of the best ones. What's your excuse for that then? Because that did good.
WandaVision, Hawkeye. I liked Hawkeye with Kate Bishop, and I did like Sylvia a lot in Loki. So a lot of these they had a lot of women that either starred or co-starred in these shows. So
and actually, it's still Sylvie damn near still at the show. So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, she was dope.
Even in the Mandalorian, was it season 2 or was it the last season when they when they was taking over that ship? That was basically like a whole team of girls.
Yeah,
they was fucking shit up. So
the Night Watch or whatever. That episode.
Yeah.
With Bo-Katan.
The one where they went to basically when Luke came and took Baby Yoda and stuff.
Oh yeah. When I remember that episode.
So when they split up, he went by himself to go find Baby Yoda, and the group of girls all went, and they was just wrecking shit throughout the whole shit. They pretty much took over the whole shit by themselves. He didn't do shit. Yeah. Mandalorian, he was trying to find Baby Yoda. They went and actually commandeered the whole ship on their own. So
and they're setting up women throughout the whole MCU. So I don't think that could even be a point anymore. Natasha's sister, what's her name? She's Raw. She does a great job at in her shows. And they also got Monica Rambeau coming up as Photon.
Yeah, perfect. And I'm looking forward to that like a motherfucker.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch that you can get these playful characters, these silly characters out of the way. She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, and that's why they kind of
push back the Marvels. What is Miss Marvel now? Is she like a Green Lantern person? I seen the trailers, and she's supposed to be stretchy like Doctor Strange, but they didn't want to give. I guess because they're bringing not Strange, but what's his name again? Fantastic Four.
Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards.
Mr. Fantastic, yeah. So I guess since they're bringing him in, they don't want two stretchy motherfuckers. But it's like, like that power is. It looked like she's a fucking Green Lantern. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do next. It's been good so far. Moon Knight just ended. We're getting a Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness soon. I'll let you guys know how I felt about that. But, it's kind of winding down on the exciting stuff. We saw a lot of it already. The next big thing I'm really excited for is the Ant-Man. We're going to see Kang actually introduced. TV show-wise, I think we're still going to get Miss Marvel next and She-Hulk and stuff like that. So I don't really know how excited I am for that. We'll probably still review it, but I don't know how excited I am going to be for that. But let's get into some of this Canelo fight, Joe. Canelo fought what's his name? Who would he fight?
Bivol.
Oh yeah. Yep. How'd you feel about the fight? Run us down through it. You see the highlights?
I seen the whole fight.
You saw it?
I didn't watch it that night. I watched when you told me about it. I went and found it like the very end of it, so I only got to see like the last 2 rounds.
Me too. I saw around 9 through 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I went and watched the whole fight again, and yeah, I mean, clearly Canelo lost the fight. It was, to me, it was it wasn't close. He lost. But like I said, I went into it thinking that Canelo was gonna win. I was biased like the most of the world was, and I will say this though, and I feel stupid. I never really paid attention to Dimitri Bivol that much. Because he didn't seem like he was that impressive, but he seemed like he really has fundamentals down, and he's long. But then I started watching some of his highlights like a day before the fight, and I remember thinking in my head, I was like, "Oh shit, Canelo might actually lose this fight. I should bet," and I didn't. I don't bet, and I'll feel stupid as fuck down because I could have just put like 5 G's down and made some loot.
Floyd Mayweather did
10 G's and made $470,000. Yeah. Fuck, and it was a last second. I don't like to gamble unless I'm like 99.999% sure that I'm gonna win. And it's Canelo. It's Canelo. You can never know. But when I watched the fight, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. This nigga was throwing so many shoulder punches. It's like he was actually targeting the shoulder, and it's like, and then he was doing the jab hook. So it was really easy to tell what he was gonna do. Bivol, it was like Canelo only did 3 things really. He came in with a jab, went for a hook to the shoulder or to the head or to the body. Or he come in with a jab and go for an uppercut occasionally, or he go in for a jab and then go for a left to the body. It was like you knew what he was gonna do every time because it was never 1, 2, 3. It was always 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Bivol would just walk in and just unload on him with a bunch of shots, and it would work. And it was like nobody told him, can you double up that jab a little bit? You're using good head movement, but you ain't doing nothing. You just throwing 1, 2s at shoulders and arms and shit. And Bivol's arm was fucked up after that. His arm was all fucking red. And then the fucked up part about it, he wasn't setting any traps at all. I don't know if you watch boxing, you know what traps are, right? When you boxing.
I can kind of just go ahead.
It's really easy. An example of a trap is like, for example, you do something to make the person you react to a person.
Yeah.
The best way to do is react to a person's movements. So when they do something, you do something, but you do like an overhand hook, right? Yeah. So then they think that that's coming. Yeah, and right. Then you just, when they do it, then you go to something else. So, yeah, like one of my favorite ones is like there's the body shot that you always see Mayweather do, where he leans in and does a little body shot, right? But if you look at that punch, it's the same exact, like the beginning movements of it are exactly the same as an overhand right, which is a really powerful punch. So if you sit there and you keep doing that to a person to the body, they're gonna expect it. And the fucked up part is to block that is the perfect position. It puts you in a perfect position to get knocked the fuck out with the overhand right. So if the person keeps doing that over and over again, you think they're going to the body, and you do that, and then they just come over the top and knock you the fuck out. And he wasn't doing any kind of traps at all. I didn't see him set any traps at all. And I was like, it was like he just kind of just kept. I don't know if they weren't telling him he was losing or whatever, but it was like he wasn't doing anything, no kind of urgency. It was like, I mean, and
I heard he went vegan for the fight. They're kind of using that for his excuse that he wasn't eating meat. He went vegan and he wasn't ready for it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just kind of, I didn't know. I don't know what I saw. I didn't get to see the beginning of the fight, so I wasn't sure what was happening. If he did some shit in the beginning of the fight, but from round 9 to the end of the fight, he didn't really do much. And I saw at the end of the fight, he thought he actually won the fight kind of weirdly. I don't know if he was just... I
only gave him like 2 or 3 rounds. Yeah. Seriously.
Wow.
Only 2 or 3 rounds.
That's amazing.
And the only reason why is because in those, I forgot which round, I want to say like the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, maybe. I want to say I got to go back and watch it again, but maybe I think I'm thinking of a different fight. But yeah, I know I only gave him 3 rounds, and those rounds are simply because Bivol just wasn't doing that much in those particular rounds. And like Canelo wasn't doing anything more than what he did throughout the whole fight. He was doing the same thing. It was just Bivol wasn't doing anything those rounds, so he kind of gave him away. But as soon as he started doing stuff, Canelo didn't really have answers for anything.
So I feel it.
The fucked up thing was it was just straightforward, just forward. It was like punches. Like he wasn't doing like no special punches. It was just like I'm gonna come in there, throw a bunch of jabs and a bunch of straights at you, and they will connect, and they were. And then he had some couple hooks that was connecting on Canelo.
Yeah, I saw. Fuck, man. It's not a really good last couple of weeks for Canelo in camp. Valdez got beat the week before. He got knocked out. He is fucking losing on Mother's Day / Cinco de Mayo weekend. So it's not looking good for him right now, at least in the light heavyweight division. Maybe he seems to stay where he is. What weight class is he usually?
Right now he's light heavyweight. Before that, he's I forgot the fucking weight he is, but it's not is it welterweight? I can't remember. I gotta look it up. I think it's welterweight though. But I gotta. They got so many. It might be cruiserweight. I don't know. They got so many fucking weights. This weight class is ridiculous.
Yeah,
so
I feel it.
I get confused.
I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Yeah, but it's funny because like a weight class could be like a difference of like 7 or 8 pounds.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. They should just make everybody fight at a certain weight. It's like 3 of them bitches, and everybody just duke it out.
Like the old school way, like they used to do back in the day.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's see what happens. But let's do one more commercial break here, and we'll get right into this Doctor Strange review to wrap it all up. I think we tackled all the pop culture topics we needed to cover this week. We're gonna give the people what they want, huh? Let's do that. What do you think? I was waiting for a reaction, but you didn't give me one. But we're gonna go to one more commercial break, and we're gonna come back with the Doctor Strange review. And let you know how we felt about it and wrap it up so you guys can go to sleep or whatever you guys do on this beautiful Friday. But hey, it's the Best of Bias podcast. You got your boy Lydell Dinero with a new bucket hat from the Best of Bias. You know what I'm saying? Best of Bias Media. Go get you one. But hit me up in the DMs if you need one. Got a bunch of colors over there. I always say I'm gonna grab them for you, but I ain't gonna do it. But we'll be right back. AKA, you down to talk about Doctor Strange?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, we'll be right back then.
I tell your mama hit my line if she really wanna fuck with me now, 'cause I'm on. I tell your mama hit my line if she really wanna come fuck with me now, 'cause I'm on. I hear lil' mama make her feel it in her soul. I hear lil' mama make her feel it in her soul. I give her dick and she won't ever leave me alone. I give her dick and she won't ever leave me alone.
And we're back. You know what I'm saying? It's Lydell Dinero in the building. Best of Bias podcast, yada, yada, yada. And we got that boy, AKA, in the building. You just heard us ramble on about a bunch of pop culture topics. And we're back to talk about what you guys really are here for. And that's the multiverse of madness, some of that Doctor Strange. AKA, how'd you feel about it? We went and saw it on the Saturday it came out, bright and early. Oh, you saw it on Friday, huh?
I saw it on Friday. Also, disclaimers, we gonna have some spoilers.
Oh yeah, we spoiling it all. So if you haven't seen it yet, go turn off the podcast, come back after you see it, push play right where we left off, and then you'll get to where all the spoilers came from. But yeah, let's just talk about that shit. Get into that, boy.
Right, I fucks with it. To me, I thought it was great. I liked it more than the majority of them. It was like one of my new favorites. But I think that was mostly because I'm a huge X-Men fan. And the fact that they bring in Xavier got me like a little bit happy because I'm waiting to see some Wolverine inside this motherfucker and some Beast and all that shit. So that made me a little bit more happy. I was expecting a couple other cameos, but I understand with like the COVID restrictions and shit and like scheduling, they're trying to get like big names to do these cameos like Tom Cruise and stuff. And Tom Cruise, that motherfucker does cameos all the time, so I'm sure he would have been down. But I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the scheduling and COVID restrictions and stuff. But all in all, I liked it. I thought it was dope. It wasn't anticlimactic to me at all. It was a cool story. I like the Carrie aspect of it. I like Wanda as a villain because in my mind, I was like, as strong as Wanda is in the comics, and she has so many different like comics where she be switching, like her mind be fucking with her and it make her, do crazy shit. So it was expected. They didn't make her go as like insane as she be going in the comics sometimes, but she was close.
Yeah, and, she was nutty.
Definitely dominant. And the one thing that I would say that I didn't like was the fact that they know how strong Doctor Strange was. I'm talking about the Illuminati. You know that scene? they knew how strong he was prior to whatever happened to their version of Doctor Strange, right? So when this Doctor Strange comes and tells them that, okay, I see all you motherfuckers is here, but we got a much bigger threat because we got the Scarlet Witch coming. I don't see why anybody they should know that, like, yeah, he knows that there's a Captain Marvel. He may not know the Fantastic Four are he called him a throwback to the whatever. But it's like he knows how powerful most of these people are. Like, what makes him, like, they should have been like, okay, we probably should take this threat serious, because if he's saying she'll come fuck us up, maybe. But instead they're like, oh, we can take care of her. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Like, why do you think that?
This is the man with the fucking cheat code over here. If he telling you it's an issue, there's an issue,
Yeah, I liked it a lot too, man. I have the same sentiment. I really like Doctor Strange. I tell people that a lot on this podcast. He's one of my favorite, the things he can do and stuff. Me personally, I do have a lot of gripes on the movie though. I liked it a lot though. I was thoroughly entertained. I like where we're going here, and I like how it was Doctor Strange based. Some things I felt were kind of unnecessary, and they kind of used a lot of Marvelisms in this movie for me. I thought we were actually gonna get a bad guy. I thought we were gonna get a big bad. It ended up being Wanda the whole time. And that is another trope that they use all the time. They use the own known either Avengers against each other, somebody that's in your own team turns you against each other. Me personally, I also had a gripe with the stakes not being so high. For all that happened, all she really wanted was to be with their children, or that was what she was saying. It was like, fuck, we went through this whole movie, we killed a whole bunch of people, and it's a earth-altering threat, and all she really wants is to be with their children. I don't know. It's weird to me how she was picking a certain world, where she wanted to be with her children that she was using. She could have been in any kind of world where I feel like she could have been in a world where Vision was alive. She could have chose a world where, I don't know, just the stakes were just kind of weird to me. America Chavez.
Technically, Vision is still alive, kind of.
Yeah, he is, and we didn't see him the whole movie. I thought we would see him. America Chavez, she was cool. I just felt like, I don't know if her character was necessarily necessary, but I guess we get to introduce a new character. Because if you can use the Darkhold to just dreamwalk, I guess she necessarily wouldn't really need America Chavez. But I guess to actually get to the universe and take it over, I don't know, to get to the universe where that body is held, where she's with her family, she needs America Chavez's power to be able to dimension jump.
I guess it's funny because it's like her, and I know in the comic they consider Scarlet Witch
a nexus being. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as well.
They're pretty much exactly the same in every universe. That's why I knew she was gonna have powers in the other alternate version of her, because she's supposed to be the same in every universe she's in. And it's funny because like America Chavez is the polar opposite of that, where she's not in any other universe. She's only in one universe. So
it's pretty much interesting.
Yeah. But the one thing that I don't kind of like is I see the path they're going, and they're gonna do that encouraging comic where the two were like this universe and this universe starts to collide, and then it makes it where like you have all these fucking superheroes fighting against each other from different universes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like what Kane was talking about, but I don't know, like that comic was fucking far-fetched, and I feel like that's gonna be a lot. And like in order for them to get that to work, they're gonna have to put a lot of fucking comic characters into it and try and squeeze it in. And all I keep thinking of is X-Men. What was it, X-Men 2? Where they had the San Francisco part where they were just throwing a shit ton of fucking comic characters inside of there, and it was like they weren't even doing justice to them. Like you didn't even know it was the character until you read the credits. Like, oh, that was Psylocke. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was 3, I think. The Last Stand.
3. Yeah, the one where he had this what's called the Stabber, because she was becoming the Phoenix or whatever. But I feel like you don't want to, how do you put it, just like flooded with a bunch of shit where you can't really give these characters justice. So I feel like that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
I heard they were setting up Secret Wars with this because they're coming out with a TV show.
That's pretty much what the fuck that is.
Incursion? Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I don't know. I wasn't a really big fan. I didn't read the whole thing, but I did like listen to people talk about it online, and it wasn't one that I was particularly interested in. We'll see how it does though. We'll see. But I don't know. I feel like I guess they're going to try and use the same format as they did for with Thanos and just slowly sprinkle in stuff. And they have been doing that, and then they're gonna eventually get to another Thanos level,
threat, which is probably
encounter.
Kang. Yeah.
Probably can, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I feel it. I mean, I didn't really have too
so,
many gripes about it. Visually, it was amazing. I like how Wong was Sorcerer Supreme, and that was kind of like a little thing going on between them. He's like, usually
yeah.
people bow and shit like that. Yeah.
And then when they came in and bowed, he was like, traditionally they bow, something like that. It was like he just kept mentioning it to him. But
Yeah.
at least they showed, at least he got to get down. I like when they had Wong getting down and he was doing his little thing, fighting against that fucking octopus thing. But
yeah, that's tight.
yeah, I like the fact that they had the I can't remember the fucking name of the place they're at where all the wizards are.
Oh
But,
yeah, I wrote it down. I was like Cosmatosh or some shit like that. Yeah.
But
She broke in that bitch easy though.
yeah, to me that was like a good indicator of how powerful she is, because these are all like sorcerers who are powerful, and like some of them are the heads from their regions and shit, and they wasn't shit to her. They was nothing to her. Even like, but Doctor Strange knew that. He knew it was like, yeah, we ain't got no chance against this woman. She's ridiculous level. But the one thing that I did like was the fuck is his name again? Reed Richards mentioned his kids.
Yeah.
And we know that Franklin is
crazy.
probably the most, he's way more powerful than Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. Omega level, super Omega.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, he's beyond Omega level.
Yeah,
he is probably the most powerful character, non-celestial wise, that they've made in Marvel. So yeah, that's gonna be epic. I don't understand how, when his mom is a fucking invisible woman and his dad can stretch and his uncle can turn to fire, somehow he becomes the most fucking powerful being in history.
Like a super psychic. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't understand that, but okay.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. The Illuminati scenes we're introducing it now. You mentioned Charles Xavier pulling up, and then you heard the little yeah.
So is that my thing was, is that their way of saying that yes, he is the Charles Xavier from the cartoon?
Yeah, it has to, because they're gonna make it canon. And
yeah, I hope so. In which case, I think they're gonna have to. But I feel like what they're doing is they're getting all these people who are fan favorites and kind of have them, well, except for Captain Marvel and Black Bolt, but they pretty much got them for do a one-off, and then they're gonna actually like bring in new actors to play the roles of those, like a younger version of Professor Xavier, and maybe another. I actually like the way what's his name, John Klawinski, I can't remember his name, but
yeah, Krasinski.
Yes, Krasinski. I actually I was surprised at how good it actually, like the suit and everything looked when he was Mr. Fantastic, and I was like, oh, okay, they did their thing. And even Black Bolt, like I was surprised it's the same fucking guy from the TV series. Remember that dumbass TV series?
Inhuman.
It was him. Yeah, and that guy's a good ass actor. He played on Hell on Wheels. I like him. You know, I didn't know he was that short, but he's a damn good actor. I didn't like the way they offed him. That was stupid to me.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Like, well, not only that, but come on, like, why would, if he does it, why would it blow up the hardest part of his head? Why wouldn't it blow up like the mouth? Like, wouldn't it
the skin,
blow that shit open?
Yeah,
but so that made no sense to me. And then she just completely, like, maybe he didn't even get a chance to fight or anything. They didn't do shit with him.
Yeah, and they unraveled Mr. Fantastic and just popped his head. Like, nigga, what is happening right now? And I didn't think that.
Me of Thanos when he was using that shit on
yeah, exactly.
What you call it? Yeah.
Mantis in them.
Yeah, exactly. That we got
dropping that fucking statue on Captain Marvel. I didn't think that was gonna work. I was like, I'm like, come on now. She ain't gonna give up like that.
She was fighting with Thor. She was fighting with Thor, not that particular one, but it's still the same powers. And was going into like the middle of fucking Earth, the core of the Earth and shit. Like,
yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
that is wild. And she just gave up and died. I'm like, no way, she's dead. There's no way.
Out of all of them powerful ass characters, the one that like lasts the long, or not last long, but yeah, pretty much last the longest with her was fucking Captain America, Captain Carter. It's like, and literally the weakest one out of all of them.
And American Chavez, when she started punching her. She was sticking with her for a little bit, which didn't really make any sense. So I'm like, oh,
well,
man.
we don't really know what her power is. The simple fact that her power can punch through,
dimensions. Like it should make her hella powerful.
Yeah, maybe it's a hard ass punch, Yeah.
Yeah, her backstory was kind of wild too. She got scared one day and sucked her parents into the dimension, and then never saw them again. That was crazy. Yeah, her
It's
parents are
crazy
gonna end
because
up
they
being
had,
somebody wild. Watch.
yeah, but they definitely had like comic, cartoon dimensions and shit like that.
Yeah, that was tight.
All kind of dimensions. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would have stayed in some of the dimensions longer, so we got to see some of the characters and saw what they were like there. They just went to super specific Earths 838 and shit, 838, and they mentioned 616 too, so that was pretty tight.
But
And
I remember somebody had like a screenshot or a shot that was taken from the set, and it looked like Deadpool was like, it clearly looked like Deadpool was standing in one of those cells.
Mhm.
They just that was never in the movie, and I'm like, oh, it must have been a deleted scene or something.
I feel that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought the movie itself was good. I like the fight scene, the fact that he gets to fight against the other evil Doctor Strange. And it's funny because it's not the same one from
What If?
Yeah, but I like his thing, his storytelling. Like, yeah, you ever had those dreams where you just falling from a high distance? Yeah, that was me. I was pushing you guys. Like, damn.
That's fucked up. But yeah, I kind of thought the music note fight was cheesy, personally.
What?
When they're throwing music notes at each other.
It was really cheesy. That was cheesy as hell.
I'm like, what? And that one little last one made a little explosion.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
that was stupid as hell. That and also the little boys singing to their mom. I was like, oh, come the fuck on. That shit was annoying. But,
yeah, that was unnecessary. I did like the Zombie Strange, that whole situation.
That was dope.
Yeah, how he came back and had the souls attached to him like wings and shit.
But it's funny because like it shows that they took a bunch of different aspects from What If, but not the exact people or characters from there and just throw them in this movie. It was like, oh, we got Captain Carter, we got what's his name, the zombies in there, and now we got the evil Doctor Strange who fucked up his own world. It's like, okay, they're all like versions of the ones from What If, but not really.
And you kind of did have to watch a little bit of WandaVision and stuff like that to kind of know what's kind of going on. And I kind of feel for Wanda in a sense because she did lose a lot. Her parents died in front of her. Her brother died in front of her. Yeah. She got her kids taken from her. She had to kill her husband. He got reanimated and then he got killed again. And then she had to kill him again after she created him in that town. And she thinks he's dead now. And then she, there's a lot of shit's been going down with her. She's a lot of loss going on in her life. And I can see why she's kind of crazy at this point in her life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she goes a little too far.
But that's probably why they ended it the way they did, because it's like what she did. There's no real way to redeem herself here. But we got so many different versions of her. We can just bring one of them in here, So, I think that's kind of a thing that's going to make me a little angry over time, is the fact that like, okay, so nobody can really die because you can only bring in only one who could die and stay dead is America Chavez, because it's only one of her. But pretty much anybody else can be killed and they can be brought back as somebody else. And
that's how we get T'Challa back, probably.
But they need to recast. I think they need to recast.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the way they can do it. It's alternate universe version of them can come and just be, this is T'Challa from alternate universe, but it's still T'Challa. And hey, it's Michael B. Jordan.
You know what? They can probably do that in the the Secret Wars and shit when because I think I gotta go back and look at it again, but I'm pretty sure the Secret Wars is basically like there's an incursion happening with the universes. So these other ones know this is going on, so they come to this place to pretty much destroy this universe before we both collide, get destroyed. So, and I know in the comic at the end of it, when it was all over, some of the characters from the other universes get stuck in the same universe. That's kind of how you have Miles Morales and Spider-Man in the same universe and stuff like that. Because after it happened, they kind of got merged into the same universe. So yeah, they can do that. They can have another character play T'Challa and maybe have a CG version of the real T'Challa, and then at the end, the real T'Challa gets killed and that guy gets stuck in our world, so he's the new T'Challa.
Yeah,
they can do
a lot of
because I don't see a problem with his sister playing or taking over the mantle, but I just don't feel like it should just be immediate. You're going to have another, like, T'Challa is Black Panther. There's only a couple comics where his sister takes over the mantle,
right?
But no, it's T'Challa.
You need a T'Challa.
you need so many stories to tell with him.
Mhm.
So, and I feel like he's a very important character. I feel like he is, as far as like just being Black and not seeing a bunch of protagonists in anything that can like look at us and be like, oh shit, we can be superheroes. I mean, we can't, but you know what I mean? It's just like as a kid,
Mhm.
you if you grow up and all you see is somebody that doesn't look like you doing all these great things, you're not gonna think you can do anything great.
Exactly.
So it's always impactful to have that. And I still think that his sister should definitely take over the mantle at some point, but they still need to have somebody play that role to keep T'Challa alive for a little bit.
And
I
I'm
think
sure
he's
they can have
selfish.
2 Black Panthers, honestly. They have a main character and its sidekick. And I'm sure the
Yeah.
sister could be, you can get more than one of the herbs, you know, have a Black Panther and a Black Pantheress, you know, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Or they can just have like another one where they actually bring a T'Challa in there and then eventually kill him off and let her take over a couple,
Exactly.
or whatever. But it's like, don't just do it for one movie and they're like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna figure out a way to just exclude him from it, quietly.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like to like talk back. I like Chadwick Boseman, but I always bring up that show Spartacus. You watch that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always bring that up because I like the way he did it. He got cancer and he was getting sick and they were going to cancel the show. And when he realized that he wasn't getting better, he sent them an email saying, no, this show is important and I wanted to go on. You guys need to recast. And they did,
Mm-hmm.
And granted, the guy they recast it wasn't that good, but I didn't watch it. But I mean, I hear from people that it was great.
I watched it. Yeah. Yeah, I watched it.
Second season. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I mean,
They just came through and killed everybody.
Yeah, I watched the first season and I watched the prequel. I didn't watch that much. I didn't like the guy that got to play him. I didn't think he was like, I felt like he had sprayed on abs, which looked stupid as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I did see of it, I like the fact that Crixie was taking over as far as like the leader on the show. It was more about him a little bit more, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a great job. But still, it was like I thought that was honorable of him to hey, this is a popping show. People love it. They want to keep it going. So do what you guys have to do to keep it going.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Yeah, I would appreciate it if he did that. I understand, like, I don't understand why he didn't, but especially knowing how important it was to a lot of people.
Right. Yeah. And just to continue with the Doctor Strange here, the end credit scenes, we saw Clea come out, cut open the universe, and offer Doctor Strange. We have to go save the universe from, I guess, what it looks like, Dark Dimension, and Dormammu, I guess, is returning. Her name is Clea. It was Charlize Theron making her appearance in the MCU for the first time. And if you didn't know the character, Clea is a love interest of Doctor Strange's in the comics, and she's also the niece of Dormammu.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. She's also the Sorcerer Supreme of her dimension, right?
Something like that, yeah. I guess so.
I think she even takes the mantle from him eventually and becomes the Sorcerer Supreme of our dimension they're in.
Okay, yeah, I feel that. And we also saw in the first end credit scene where he actually is walking down the street or whatever, and that third eye pops in his forehead. Then he's like screaming and shit. But it's kind of weird because the second end credit scene, he's just walking down the street happy. It seems like he already mastered it and came to grips that he has that third eye. And when Clea jumps out and is like, okay, we need to go save, the universe from the dark universe, that third eye pops out and he's like ready to go. And he kind of came to grips with it. It was kind of a weird tie-in.
I don't think he came to grips with it. I think that thing is like slowly like corrupting him because it's from the dark hole. It's from him using it. So I'm sure they're probably gonna have to figure out a way to get rid of that before it makes him turn dark.
Yeah, I feel that. But it was cool. I mean, I heard that it wasn't doing the best. It was kind of like one of the lower rated movies out of the most recent MCU rated movies.
Really?
It got like an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. And yeah, it got like a B+ rating. And it was like kind of like one of the more lower releases for Marvel MCU movies as of recent, but I'm sure it'll do better over time. And I think people are just I think just people are I think it's more parents more so, like, I don't know, like, again, it is kind of wizardry and witchcraft. It did kind of have some similarities. A lot of killing too. People were saying that it should have been rated R because there was some head explosions and
blood, all that stuff,
Captain Marvel, or not Captain Marvel, Captain Carter, yeah. She got chopped in half, what I'm saying, by her shield. So there was a lot of kind of like, zombies, and the zombie got impaled. So there's a lot of shit in there that people may not have liked too much that gave it the lower rating. But I do think it was pretty good, man. I do think Spider-Man was a little bit better. But I do think it was better than the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I think Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a little better than this. I take that back, but I still like this a lot. Mm-hmm. I just more fanned out about the fact that they brought in these other characters and stuff.
Oh yeah, it has implication for the future.
Yeah, and I like the way they showed Black Bolt. You know, when he said "I'm sorry" and just fucking.
Oh yeah, that was tight.
And it betrayed, like, it showed his power a little bit. Because if you ever watch that show, have you ever watched that show? The Humans?
A little bit, yeah, a couple episodes actually.
Yeah, like, to me, he was the only good part of it. The whole rest of the show fucking sucked. The costume designs was crappy as shit, but he did good. And when they showed him, like, and there's a scene where he's fighting with the cops, and one of the cops hits him in the stomach like that, and he goes, that's all he does, and the whole fucking cop car and everything just starts flying away just from making like a little noise. And I was like, oh yeah, that's dope. But
yeah,
the rest of the show was toilet water.
Yeah, I like the dog too that teleported him everywhere. That was sick.
Yeah, but like even like the black dude who was supposed to be like having the hoofs and stuff, like they didn't even think to change like doing the CG on his legs. They have a part where he's running through like a forest and he clearly has big ass boots on. It was like what happened to his hoofs, you know?
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck no more. The new show was bad. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I guess we can just wrap it up here. Do you put it kind of in the upper echelon of your Marvel movies, or? Yeah,
I do. I put it up there. I liked it a lot. I mean, I definitely will watch it again. I liked even though it wasn't a new villain, it was Wanda. Just the fact that she's dominant as fuck anyways. And like, I wish they would have maybe hinted at bringing some of like the Mephisto or somebody in there a little bit. But you know, it was what it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was action packed for the most part. Yeah.
Right. And in the end, she brought that building down on herself. So that, you know, the Darkhold can never be really used again for, you know, dark purposes. And we saw the Asante book got burnt up by the Scarlet Witch. So presumably there's no really books of magic that are around. The most powerful books of magic have been destroyed, I guess. And then Wanda went ahead and destroyed all the Darkholds on every universe. They can be used for danger. So that's where we are in the MCU. I'm sure Wanda will be back, probably taking a little break. Because I think she did renew her contract for like 7 years or some shit like that. Yeah, so she's gonna be around for a while. She just might not be in the most, you know, upcoming, you know, installations of the MCU, because there's a lot of docketed movies coming out, and Wanda's probably gonna take a little break right now after she just caused all this havoc. So we might not see her for a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, and I hope you liked that review. At this point of the episode, this is where I like to let them know where you can find the guests at, where you can find me at. But let's start with AKA. Let them know where they can find you at, brother man.
Same as always. AKA Akio Young, Instagram, right?
Yeah, Akio
Young. Pretty Ugly, which is my brother. If you go and look it up on Spotify or any platform, got some music on there. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, you know where to find your boy at. It's SAC_Lydell. By the way, you got a couple of songs coming out, some verses that I heard that are completely flammable. You know, I can't really mention them on this microphone because they might set on fire if I do that shit. So basically, I'm just going to tell where you can find me at. And when he's ready to put that music out, he's going to let you know where to find it and shit like that. But it's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for the podcast, Best of Bias on the Instagram, Best of Bias on the YouTube, where you can find a bunch of lovely videos. If you can't get the video and the audio version on any of these podcast platforms, Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, you can find it right there on YouTube. Every episode's on there. Give a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know who you want to see on next, if you want to be on, if you want some merch, anything like that. And just let Ariel/AKA know how good of a job he's doing on the videos. Leave some comments down there, like, subscribe, and all that shit. But if you want some merch, you know what I'm saying, you know where to hit me. Website, you hit me up on the Instagram, Snapchat, anywhere you can find me, you can find the inquiry for some of this merch. You know what I'm saying? New anime shirts coming out real soon. Got to represent for the anime culture and the superhero culture out there. You know what I'm saying? Because we rep that shit heavy. And then, you know, we can get you a shirt to wear with your hat and shit like that as well. Coming out real soon. Episodes coming out this weekend. Competitive gaming episode. sports episode. I told y'all last week they were coming. I'm sorry I didn't get them on there this week, but hey, niggas is busy. But yeah, it's the end of the episode. Anything else you want to let them know?
I think they got a fight coming out this weekend. Charlo versus Castaño too. Check that out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got something stuck in my throat.
Oh man, it's like you about to cry. But yeah, we'll get into that and probably review those fights on the next episode. So if you went into some boxing, we'll get that in for you. Go watch it this weekend. Charlo versus who?
Castaño, for
sure. You know, because we got it all here on the Best of Bias podcast, so we can't wait to get it to you. So yeah, keep coming back. Tell your friends about us. You know what I'm saying? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister, tell your friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, everybody tune in. And let's get this family big, better, and we'll keep bringing that bias for all y'all, for everybody to hear. So, AKA, thank you, sir. We'll see you next week. Enjoy your Friday. It's the Best of Bias podcast. And like I like to say at this point, where my theme song at? Yeah. It's right here. I almost forgot about that part.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah.